Good morning, everyone. Oh, not morning where you're at? That's okay, because you can have eggs for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Welcome to episode 44 of Three Eggs Are Better Than One. I am Brad Stanton, along with fellow eggs Matt M. and Brian Aremza. Thank all of you for you listened to last week. It was exciting, wasn't it? Action figures, dolls, whatever you want to call them. Bryant, you did a fantastic job. If you're the first time listening to the show, we do a thing called Sunny Side Up. It's our good news of the week. So, Bryant, what tickled your pickle this week?
Well, that saying right there did. So, gonna be just real here, guys. Peek behind the curtain. It's not been a fun week for Bryant. People quitting, call-ins galore. My big bosses are in town. There's been a lot of sunny side up for me, but there is this small silver lining, and it's the weekend when I get to go to my first Husker game this weekend. I'm gonna go out to Lincoln, go watch my Huskers play. They're playing, I believe, Cupcake State is what they're called. So they can score 99 points to match the 70 they scored a week ago. And so you get to go, you get a tailgate. Truthfully, never been to a pro NFL game. College experience is so much fun. You get the tailgate, you get to go around. You're always walking around that stadium. You see so much going on. There's all these road crews and, radio stations. It's fun. The atmosphere is great. So my sunny side up is going to get to see the Huskers play live. Try to go at least once a year. So got to enjoy that college experience.
Once a year, huh? Whether you need to or not? A quota. A
Yeah,
quota?
yeah, a quota. You have to go to one game. It's usually like the Nebraska way, I would say. So
Hmm. Very good. Very good. Sounds like a good time. I also have a nice weekend planned because I am off this weekend, but that is not going to be my sunny side up. Brian, I didn't give you enough time, so maybe we let Matt go first, and then you pull up the video that I sent you earlier in the week.
oh yes.
All right, so Matt, go ahead. We're going to skip my turn for now.
First, I would like a quick follow-up on Bryant's sunny side up. I've heard you say this before in referencing to work and people not showing up. You say people called in. Is
Yeah.
that really how you say it? Because I would say they called out.
Well, we say called in, as in they're just calling in to saying they're not coming in. So
So
we don't
they
really
called
have it.
out.
I mean, you can call it called out, whatever you like. We
It's
call
called.
it we call it being
100% called.
lazy in our business as well. So
What do you say, Brad?
Called out.
Somebody called out. Called out sick.
Called out.
Yeah, called
I don't
out.
ever believe anybody's sick. I just say they called out. I always
yeah,
think they're making an excuse. And
Yeah, I
then, but
mean
if I'm
that's
sick, it's real.
that could, that could be the case, but people do get sick.
Yeah, they
I've seen it.
apparently. I
I've
don't believe
seen
any
it.
of them, but I
I've
mean, I
seen
think
it.
I'm the only one.
Okay, my sunny side up. I actually have a sunny side up and a sunny side down. So sunny side up, um, we've talked recently about how the WWE premium live events, PLEs, once known as pay-per-views, are shifting to a new ESPN subscription service called Unlimited. Well, clap for me because my existing Verizon Fios cable package includes it at no extra charge. Congratulations to me.
I'm really, really happy for you.
Sunny
I
side
really,
down. We really rely on technology and certain parts of it. I woke up on Sunday morning with a notification from Google that my Gmail account had been disabled for a violation of terms of service. Now, I don't do anything unusual or out of the ordinary with my email. I'm not a spammer. There's no business operating out of there. Nothing that's not cool in any way. What the heck? I'm locked out. I have no idea why, and I have no idea how to get back in. Well, guess what? Your email is your key to many, many, many other things in your life. Two-factor authentication, communication with the outside world, important messages. I did not have my email for 3 or 4 days, which is an eternity for something that you rely on like that. And, you do some research, you try to figure out how to get back in. And a lot of advice is like, you just need to wait. You can't keep trying to get in. It just prolongs it. It just prolongs it. So yesterday morning, I got up, tried it, and I got in. Woo! No trouble, Nothing bad happened. It's not like it was hacked or anything. But I have no idea. Google can just end your life if they wanted to. Bam.
Yeah, I don't think I could live without my Gmail.
You need it.
Yeah, it's linked to a lot of things.
It's linked to
It's linked to
everything.
it's linked to my YouTube TV.
It is linked to everything. Sunny side down.
Yeah. Brian, you have anything to retort? Like anything at all?
I'll be truthful. I've been trying to get this video to play
Yeah,
to
I
make
can
sure I
tell
got
you're
it
not
uploaded.
even paying attention is
Oh
what
no,
I
I've
can
been paying
tell is
attention
going.
the whole
I don't
time.
know. I don't really know.
I've been paying attention this whole time. I listen, but I mute myself, unfortunately, and then I hop into another screen and I can't talk.
Yeah. I
So I
could
screw
tell
myself.
you're distracted with something else.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, your video.
Anyway, go ahead, Bryant, play the video. And for those of you that aren't watching for now, I would suggest you do go back to the YouTube feed. But
I'm
so
also just praying I got the right video even going here.
okay. So I don't know if anybody has seen if you've been under a rock, but there's been a woman in Philadelphia that basically stole a foul ball out of a young boy's hands. It was actually in Florida at the time, and they were chasing a home run ball. I apologize. And the dad grabs the ball and gives it to the kid. So I would like to play this video right now from the Savannah Bananas. And go. So the dad goes over, grabs the ball in his hand, and puts it in his son and hugs him. And here comes the Karen right now. Oh, but it's the Grinch. Arguing with him. Give me the ball back. Give me the ball back. You know what? Take it. Ha ha. You know, it's funny.
Look at how sad he is. Can we just talk about that? He's so sad.
It's funny.
His son.
I made a big deal about the whole Coldplay thing. And you know that they're maybe making too much out of it. But I'll tell you what, I think the memes and the reenactments of this is even better. This woman thinking that she had any say in that she had any right to that ball because it landed in a row below her when there's three people. Have you ever seen a home run? People not swarm for the ball, especially in like a place where maybe where there was not, it wasn't a full stadium, which Florida's not the best of teams this year. Why she thought that ball was hers is crazy. That woman is ruined. And I actually don't feel bad for her one bit because for her to try to take a baseball out of a young, like she didn't have any kids over there. This is a little boy. You're giving this ball to a little boy, and it was an exciting moment for him and his dad. Best part about it, though, is the home run was hit by Harrison Bader from the Philadelphia Phillies. First, the Phillies and the Marlins went over there and gave the boy some gifts, and then Harrison Bader got a picture with him after the game, which you know the woman may have not done the right thing. We don't know who she is, by the way. That is none of that is true online. And but the Phillies and the Marlins 100% did the right thing and made it right. And also, that is Jake Elliott's son or nephew. I mean, Jake Elliott, the kicker for the Philadelphia Eagles, or is his nephew. So even better.
Really?
Yeah.
That's serious? Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, I thought
Didn't
that
realize
was.
that.
So he already has easy access to game used balls, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm sure he's plenty of them.
Probably, yeah. Let's be realistic, yeah.
And this next part is really not a sunny side up. But Bryant, do you remember the picture I sent you also?
Of course, because I was going to ask about that as well. So
Yeah, this is I just want to let you know, Matt M. and who was the person online that thinks that Haribaloo or whatever the ridiculous gummy bears are. Yeah, they're terrible. Albany's are the best gummy bears in the entire world.
They're good.
I think they are so much better than those other ones. So
you
are good.
You lost me at gluten free. You lost me at the gluten free.
No. These are excellent.
They're excellent.
Right.
They're softer. They're better. I feel they're better. But you said on the YouTube video it's the only one.
Yeah, these are almost. I don't even. How can I explain this?
They're awful.
They're tremendously good.
It's like
Trolley are better.
You're comparing like a McDonald's cheeseburger to like a cheeseburger from like a nice restaurant.
But these aren't any more expensive.
I just don't know if they're comparable. I'm saying that
they're both gummy bears.
They're gummy bears.
Okay, I don't know. I'm taking. I don't know.
This is the fancy restaurant
calling
version.
in on this one.
They sell these at the dollar store. I don't know what you're talking about.
Calling in on this one.
You make it sound like I have to go to a 5-star restaurant, and that's what this is
No,
comparable to. Am I wrong?
they sell these at the dollar store, Brian.
Okay. All right, because Matt was making it sound like these are like rich people gummy bears here.
They're delicious. I find them to be delicious. Anyway,
Hmm.
it was fun, guys. A little sunny side up in a different way.
Yeah.
Which brings me to hard boiled. First, I would like to talk about Coach Belichick and Tom Brady for a moment. Coach Belichick, now the head coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels football team. Yes, they have won their second game, but the first game they got destroyed. And you, sir, this is what I'm going to say. Tom Brady fumbled, and you, sir, are not a good coach. That's what I have to say about that. And hard boiled. You are not. You got lucky because Tom Brady was good. You got lucky because of that. You weren't a good coach before, and you're not a good coach after. Okay? Go have sex with your 23-year-old girlfriend. I mean, good for you. You know what's the problem? Wrestling, right? We love wrestling here. There's a thing out there called kayfabe. And now, if you don't know what kayfabe is, it's you're playing the part. So you're living your role. Like the Undertaker, for instance, the dead man. He lived that role forever. He wouldn't break his character, even when he was in the airport or when he was out in public. He never broke his character. Well, that has pretty much died for the most part because everything is behind the scenes. We see everything. But one man was really, really doing a great job with the kayfabe, and his name is MJF. And he would be at signings, he would be everywhere, and he would still have attitude. He'd sign your card, he'd sign your figures, he'd sign his pictures, but he would still insult you. He would insult kids in wheelchairs. He didn't care. He was a bad guy. Well, that son of a bitch broke kayfabe with this wedding that he was in. Here is MJF at his wedding with everybody he says he doesn't like in the middle of all these pictures. Hey, everybody, I got my best friend Darby Allin. I got my best friend Sammy Guevara. This is the greatest day of my life. Kayfabe is now officially dead. Thank you, MJF. You have ruined it. You're the last of the Mohicans. You were the last to show me that it's still, I can believe that this is real, and you have ruined it. Finally, I have told everybody about the $35 surf sides. Well, my daughter happened to be at the same venue recently, and the surf sides were $28. Same venue for a concert. Tate McRae, still someone very popular. And a buddy of mine was at Citizens Bank Park for the Phillies game, and the same surf sides were $19.
Now I'd go for it for 19.
Are you telling me I paid a premium for Benson Boone? Is that what we're saying? Or was there a mistake made? Because I don't know. Did I tell you guys last week that I actually sent an email and called into the arena and said that I think there may have been a mistake, that I think I paid for 4 surf sides, not 2. Can you please look into it? Here's my receipt number. Here's my ticketing number. And no one has got back to me yet.
Weird.
Do you really think you paid for 4, or are you just looking for a way
I don't think anybody in this world has ever paid $35 for a drink for a surf side, except for me. I'm the first one ever.
Maybe they just took one look at you and flipped a switch on the cash register. They just saw it. They knew you were a mark.
I just want them to say that's what we were charging that night. Please just say that. Because now everybody I talk to, their eyes bug out of their head every time I bring it up.
It's a wild amount of money.
This is a wild amount of money, yeah.
And then $28, $7 less on a Saturday night. Hard boiled.
So I'm gonna piggyback here on your MJF take for a moment, because you talk about breaking kayfabe and all this, but MJF posted a picture of him with his beloved. Did you see this online? I
may have.
I thought it was beautiful because it's a picture with him and his lovely AEW World Championship.
Oh,
I mean, I feel like that's perfect kayfabe right there, of making sure that people still know that he loves that championship more than he will ever love his wife.
Is he the world champion?
This was a desperate attempt to gain respectability back after a big mistake a few days later, and we all know that.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even know he got married. I could give 2 shits about that.
Well, you couldn't even get into your Gmail, Matt, so it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, I was about to say, you don't even
You're
know.
right. I missed
your invitation was probably in your Gmail account, and you just didn't know it.
My Evite.
Yes.
Well, thank you, guys. This brings us to brown eggs. Brown eggs, Bryant. Let's talk about moments.
Let's talk about moments. Let's talk about things that have happened in the world. And, naturally, the easy thing for me to do is talk about wrestling, right? I mean, I could talk about wrestling all day, every day. But I'd like to take you all back to a time back in, let's say Brad's youth, maybe. I don't know. We'll go with it here. We're going to talk about the 1970s.
I was born.
Hey, all right. I was close. Okay, here we go. So we're going to go back in time. We're going to talk about October 17th of 1976. It's a balmy day in Tampa Bay, and there's two 0-5 football teams getting ready to take the field, the Seattle Seahawks and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, this is also during the time when Tampa Bay is god-awful at football. I'm pretty sure they wanted them to go to the UFL or even the USFL, depending on how you felt at the time. And as these teams are struggling, this is your comeback game. You know, this is the game where you turn it around. And I'm sure you're going, well, why would you want to bring this game up, Bryant? Well, it's simple. This game has a distinct note in NFL history. It is known as the most penalized game in NFL history. Both teams accounting for a grand total of 39 penalties for, shockingly, only a total of 310 yards. Now, 35 of them were accepted, as 2 were declined and 2 were offsetting. So, kind of helped bring the number down, but it's still technically 39 penalties. 12 of them alone were offsides. And 15, and then I want to make sure I get this right here. There was 20 of them alone by Tampa Bay. So between that, and it averaged out to where on most plays, the average down for third down was third and over 20 yards. And the final score of 13-10, all 13 points scored by Seattle in the third quarter. They were actually shut out the rest of the game, as the third quarter was also the least penalized for Seattle at the time. So it's something interesting to me that you can, win the game. They still had 15 penalties on them themselves that were accepted, obviously. And it's just fascinating that of all of this, they were even able to make it respectable, I guess is the best way to put it. Because to me, if I hear 39 penalties, I think the game is a total wash. There was no rain. You can't blame it on that. You can't blame it on the humidity or being hot. It was just a normal day of Tampa. But when you're also this god awful, that it just kind of makes it even more, entertaining to me. Because the biggest penalty, the most penalties in the game, was holding. Because again, you're this awful. It's just the only way you can survive to win the game. So just a fun little tidbit in history of a game that I'm sure none of us know about, but want to kind of bring it to light for a little bit of a comedy purpose there.
Quick question.
Go for it.
You have this in your back pocket, or did you go looking for this when you saw brown eggs on the outline?
I do. I have different ideas in mind. I'll be truthful. I have a little file folder that I've created for this segment. I have NFL, NBA, college football, and wrestling, obviously. So I just depend on which tab I want to which file I want to open up.
You've done another football one.
I did.
The punts.
Or was it all the punts?
Well, that was that. Yeah, because it was the record for the most punts in a game and stuff like that. So yeah.
Very good.
I was gonna say that if most of the penalties were, false start or offsides, was it like a crowd noise issue? But it doesn't sound like it was.
Nope, not at all. Because this was also the time when Tampa was struggling to get fans. So this was during. We'll put it this way: starting quarterback Steve Spurrier mentioned that the game was just a complete wash, and that there was nothing good to come of it other than it ending. That was his exact quote for the game.
Very good.
So
I like it.
Something different. Thought
Definitely didn't know it. It's a definitely least talked about moment.
Yeah.
That egg is brown.
Yes.
All right, guys. Fried eggs is next, and that's for all three of us. Fried eggs are fads in and out. So I know Matt loves this topic. I think he waits for it. You know how Brian has stuff in his back pocket. I think Matt loves this topic.
I don't know. I'm running out, to be honest. I just try to think about things that were popular like when I was growing up and aren't anymore. So I came up with devil sticks. Remember devil sticks? It was like 2 rods that you would hold and flip another one, like you were trying to balance it and flip it in the air.
I think now I know what you're talking about. I don't think I
Yeah.
got involved.
Got an idea now, yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of like a hippie-ish sort of activity, like hacky sack.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of when you said
Yeah.
Hmm.
that.
Or foot bag, if you want to call it that, which I
No, I
never did.
don't. I don't want to call it
But yeah, Devil Six. I mean, I never owned one, a set, thank God. But you would use one if somebody else had one. You'd give it a shot. I don't think I was ever any good at it.
that. I
Not
definitely
my
wasn't good at
thing.
hacky
You know
sack.
who would be good at it? Is my wife. That's like she's got weird skills like that with like her hands and feet.
Really? Why was it called
Interesting.
devil stick? Why was it
Yeah.
called devil stick?
I don't know. I didn't research the origin. Just the fad.
All right. Well, very good. Very good indeed.
Yeah.
You may be running out of stuff. Maybe I should have positioned this in a different place on the outline.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I got something that's in right now. And I don't know how much longer I think it will be. So watches, right? When I was growing up, I had a lot of different watches. I had Timex, you know, I had I remember on the street of New York, I remember buying a cheap ass Guess watch. But now all most of us wear, not all right, maybe not most, but a lot of us wear are the Apple watches and stuff like that. So, why? Because it's a, it assists our phone a little bit. At times I can answer messages on my phone or on my watch. It times my steps. It's when I'm working out and everything like that, and it tells the time. And it does some other things on there too. Obviously, I have apps on here. I can do anything on here. But I mean, I'm not really a jewelry guy. I have a wedding ring and I would wear a watch. That's about it. But I would like to wear a watch again in my life. I would like to wear a regular watch, like maybe, just anything. But I can't. I can't wear both. I can't wear two watches. But at the same time, I don't know that like I'm addicted to the exercise or at least the keeping track of and the companionship with my phone on this watch. How much longer is this going to go on? Is there going to be another alternative? Or is this my life from this point forward?
Your life
It's your
companion.
life. Yeah. Your life now.
Compa- uh so you can wear two. I've seen it.
I don't think that's acceptable, though. I don't like the people that do it. Like Ric Flair does it. He wears a
Yeah.
Rolex and his Apple Watch.
So I
Yeah, you
have
have two wrists. I'm just saying, like,
so I do not as much as I like my Apple phone, I do not have an Apple Watch. I do not have a regular watch. And I don't like watches and I don't wear watches. Anytime I've ever attempted to wear a watch, it just starts pulling hairs out of my wrist and it feels awful. Pass.
I don't have that problem at all.
Uh, I I mean, I wish I didn't. I'm not really in control of how that's going to go.
Maybe we could shave your arms. Maybe we could do that as an episode, a bonus
And then I
episode.
have to keep shaving it.
Yeah, well, once you start, you can't stop. You saw
Yeah.
Kramer. Look at it. What about you, Brian? Do you wear one?
well, first of all, I'm just stunned Matt hates something. I just can't
I
get over
didn't
that.
say
I
I
mean,
hate it.
you
I said
did.
I
You said
don't
you hate
wear
wearing
one.
you said you hate wearing watches.
I said I don't wear one.
So, going back to my youth, the rap culture was taking over. The phenomenon was there. Eminem, other people, because I'm sure there were other people. And the fad that came out rather quickly was wearing baggy pants. And you would sag them down so low and you show your boxers. And it was a fad I never understood. But then when I saw my friends doing it, and then I see these famous rappers doing it, and I'm like, oh, that seems cool. So then you start bagging your pants. And then I still never understood how I kept my pants up other than holding them, which is what I ended up having to do. But it's just one of those fads that it took over. Everybody was bagging their pants. All these young kids were doing it. It makes me sound old saying it that way. But for me, the fad was that baggy pants, and you see everybody do it, and you're like, you gotta fit in. And that's what I was like as a kid. I had to fit in, so I had to bag my pants. And now when my pants sag a little bit, I immediately scream I need a belt. So but yeah, baggy pants. That was the fad that I luckily, thankfully, was trying to get out of.
It's funny. I used to work at a Pacific Sunwear in my later years in college. And I mean, it was a little bit of an alternative dress,
Mhm.
attire, skaterish in a way, I guess would be, and
Yeah.
also The different
Sponge.
shoes and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there was this pair of pants in there that I just don't understand who was wearing them. They were like, well, I mean, they were as wide as anybody I've ever seen, and they were not for the person that would fit into those. Obviously, I don't remember selling them, and I think they went on clearance. But yeah, the baggy pants, man, they were a thing. And then, but nobody wants to see anybody in tight pants either, right?
No.
I'm not really interested. At least I'm not interested in that. At least not.
We've
Um,
gone too far in the other direction now with the tight overcompensating for
There it
the
is.
Janko years.
yeah, for
Yes.
sure. You got
Yeah.
anything, Matt? You just gonna go with this?
I just said something.
Yeah, I guess you did. I
It
guess.
did.
All right, guys. Fried eggs, huh? Which brings us to, well, we've been working on this for a while, and then we got an update. This morning we were told, are we ready? Are you guys got your shit ready? Well,
Got your
guess
shit
what,
together? Yeah.
Matt? I got my shit ready. So, Matt, what is the omelet this week?
All right. So thank you. The category will be our favorite or most commonly spoken quotes that we use in our lives that we've pulled from TV and movies and pop culture. So I've got quite the list here, and I'm pretty excited about it, and I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say too. A little precursor though. A lot of these are things that I say in the situation. Most of them are probably things that me and Sue say to each other, almost as like an ongoing inside joke. And a lot of them are quotes that you probably, other people will know from whatever that's from. But there's a couple of them that's like literally me and her are the only two people on the planet that say this to each other. It was like one line from one episode of one thing 10 years ago, and we thought it was funny, and we still say it to each other. And it's not a widespread thing. There's like a few of those. It's funny. It's funny to me. All right. From Always Sunny, you can often find us saying, "What is going on up here?" Which is what Charlie was saying when he was getting high and coming up with the Nightman musical. And that was a big line, and I still say it. It's like an idea pops in your head, boom. Bryant, you're gonna know this one from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Tomato potato. Andy Samberg's character would always say that instead of like tomato tomato.
Yep.
So we've adapted that into our home vernacular. From the show Letterkenny, you guys ever see that?
I have not. No.
Funny show, very weird Canadian comedy. But they would say the beer they always drank was called a puppers. And whenever somebody was getting a little riled up or hard boiled, they would say, "Somebody get this guy a puppers." So now we throw that around a little bit. If someone's getting a little out of hand, needs to settle down. This one I love from Seinfeld. That's your big boy. Anybody know the situation
Yeah,
there?
the the cakes,
Yes.
that's your big boy.
Drake's Cakes. Newman.
Drake's,
Is
yeah,
that the large size?
that's your
That's your
big
big
boy.
boy. I say it all the time. I say it all the time. Oh, Brian, you're gonna love this one. I say this way too often when I have a realization. Mayor from Back to the
Yes.
Future. From
Back
Back
to the
to the
Future.
Future.
Yep.
Yeah. And another one, and I just used it earlier at dinner. And one or both of you should know where this is from. Look up here. Look up here. From the Three Amigos.
Oh my God, that's so long ago.
That's a great movie. If you watch that right now, it's hysterical. All right, I'm gonna pause here. We'll come back. Anybody got something they want to throw out?
All right, so I did this wrong. I did some quotes here that I say very regularly. Some of them are from movies. I don't even know what movies are from.
That's okay.
That's
So,
fine.
How was that wrong? If you say it and it's from somewhere else, that's what we want.
all right. So, make good choices is something I say a lot. And it's something like for your kids, make good choices. And I think if we're the Millers, and we're the Millers, it's not really their daughter. And she's walking out with the guy, you know what I'm saying? Regrets, no regrets. Not even, that's my credo. And they say, make good choices. I say that all the time to my kids. Right?
How is that not exactly fit the category?
Well, I didn't do that a lot. All right. So um here's another one from a movie where Saving Sarah Marshall. And they're at the
We're
bar.
getting Sarah Marshall?
Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Okay.
Saving Silverman. Forgetting Sarah Marshall combined. Forgetting Sarah Marshall. They're at the bar and he's trying to get over the woman. So then he goes, I would love to sleep with each of you. I would like to have sex. I'm not looking for a relationship. And John Hader's like, all right, let's pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. And I always say that. Like, if things get a little crazy, I say, pump the brakes.
Good. It's good.
All right. Little Big League is probably a movie you guys don't know, with where the kid becomes the head coach.
Yeah, I know the movie, of course.
And they're trying to figure out, this guy paints a house in 5 hours. This guy paints a house in 3 hours. How long does it take him to paint it together? And the guy says, what color paint? And I say shit like that all the time because it has nothing to do with solving the problem. What color paint? I love that. Now, this is something that I don't know where it came from, but at work. So if it's something that the guys don't want to hear, or they feel real negatively about a customer coming in, they just don't think it's going to be a good one, I always say to them, well, that's the spirit.
So you're constantly a wise ass about everything.
Yeah.
How about the customers coming in? You're going to be doing nothing else. Let's try to help them. Yeah, that's the spirit. And this is just something this has been said in a number of movies. And recently I said it because I was at a party, and this one girl was all over this guy, and she was pretty good looking, and he was average at best. And she wanted him. All right. And I said, let me tell you something. I told him, you have to strike while the iron is hot. Because if you don't do this now, it is not happening. Strike while the iron's hot. And I don't just say it with that. I say it in sales and everything else. But that moment, he needed to strike.
Yes.
He did not.
Oh.
So
Poor guy.
I have a couple here from our good friend Devin Dowling.
Oh.
This is from the movie Liar Liar. It was Jim Carrey. And this is when he couldn't lie. So the guy calls him up, and he did something again, one of his clients, and he said, what advice do you have for him? And he goes, stop breaking the law, asshole. So that was pretty good. This is from AEW.
I'll tell you what, you gave it a better read than you did in rehearsal.
Well, I have to read through it once. You know what I mean? Brody Lee, the late Brody Lee. He was a wrestler for WWE and for John Huber's his real name, and for AEW. And he would always say, it's Wednesday. And you know what that means. And now they say it every single time. And finally, I'm going to do 3 from him because I can only read 3 of them. Devin, you know what I'm talking about. In How I Met Your Mother, they would say something like, boy, he has a major crush on that girl. And then Robin and Ted would say, major crush. Major. So that's it for me. Back to you.
Brian, you got some?
I do have a few here.
Did you do the homework correctly?
I'm going to hope
80%,
so.
80%.
I'm going to hope so. So I'm actually going to also stick with How I Met Your Mother as well to start mine off. Barney would always say the same thing every night. Needs to be legendary. Is this going to be legendary? We're going to have a legendary day? I don't know why I do that, but I do that now, especially now with my job. You know, how are you going to make this day legendary? I don't know why, but I just tie it in. It's funny to me.
You know what? I've taken it a step further than that when I say it, and I forgot this one. I say legend, wait for it, dairy.
Dairy. There it is.
Happened several times on the show.
Yep. Get that one. Yes.
Wait for it's good too.
Wait for it. You got to add that wait for it.
Wait for it is good.
Yep. So another one is from Bruce Almighty. I don't know why, but the moment I heard it, it stuck with me. It's a beautiful day.
Yeah.
And anytime I say it now,
I know that one.
It's the only way I can say it. Beautiful.
It's good.
And I'm like, okay, Perfect, you know? Another one is from, got to do a couple from South Park.
Uh,
And I don't, this is one that's for mostly Sue and I, is what we do it to each other. There's an episode where Jimmy's talking to everybody, and Jimmy is one of the disabled people on the show. And he's telling them to come on, but it's just how he says it is hilarious to both of us. We can't watch that episode and not just giggle to ourselves when he's like, I mean, come on, guys, come on. I mean,
See,
come on. It's just how you
that's
pronounce it.
I love that example because that's all of our Sues.
Yeah.
You have that private thing where it's funny to you guys and maybe not funny to anybody else.
No, it's funny to no one else. And like we've done it in front of people and they just look at us and we're like, but to us, it's just hysterical. And I just love it. So, and then another one from the show that, you've got to quote is, I replaced the name, but it's like, you killed Kenny, it's like, it's just always funny to me. And I don't know why, but just how you enunciate it or whatever you're doing. And then you throw in the you bastard. And it just throws everyone off at the end.
You bastard.
You bastard. So, and then of course, one that I quote quite regularly is Anchorman because that is one of my favorite movies. So I quote that a lot. I don't finish the joke, but I always go, and they called it San Diego.
Just leave it there.
And I just leave it there. Just leave it there. I don't want to finish it because I know if I do, I'm going to probably get in trouble somewhere. And then also, of course, you always, I love Lamp.
I love Lamp.
I love Lamp. I thought if I'm trying to get out of a conversation, and I will do this to anyone, I love Lamp. And they just stare at me, and I can walk off at that point because no one understands what I'm talking about.
Let that be a note.
Yeah. So if you hear me do I love Lamp, the conversation's over, folks.
Before you go back to you, I did have one more. I quote this when the exact same reason that they did it in the show Friends, Chandler. When someone comes over and you're kind of half talking about them or a situation you don't want them to hear about, Chandler said, and I say it too, and that's how a bill becomes a law.
Yeah.
And I've done that a lot too many times.
That's good. Hide the cover. That's kayfabe.
Yeah.
That's kayfabe. Yeah. Nicely done. Well, thank you guys. I have more. Jim Carrey made quite a few appearances. I got one more here. It seems that I sometimes I have, especially if I'm like in the office chatting with somebody or have a meeting or something, I seem to have a hard time moving on to the next thing. Like I'll say goodbye and then a minute later we're still talking about something else. So I break out, okay, I'm really gonna go this time. And then I really leave. I got a couple from Family Guy. Ooh, piece of candy. The James Woods character.
Yes.
They lured him around with the candy, so we did that at home a lot. Ooh, piece of candy. What was the other Family Guy one? Oh, this cracked me up. So there was one random scene where Peter was like narrating that he was writing something with like a quill and an ink pen. And he would go ink, 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 and then whatever he was writing, ink, ink, ink. So I adopted that into my language, and I used there's like 5 different reasons why I would use it. Like let's say we're watching a TV show and like I predict the killer or something, or better yet, you're watching wrestling and you predict what's going to happen because it could often be predictable. And then what do you have? What happens? It happens right in front of you, and I would turn to Sue and go ink, ink, ink.
Nice.
So this is funny though, because that happened so long ago, and in preparation for this, I tried to find the clip of it online, and I did, and it's not ink, ink, ink. It's dip, dip, dip.
It's a Mandela effect.
They screwed it up. Yeah. So that's a pretty good one. I mentioned there were a couple that like we say to each other that it's not an active quote that people use. You guys have seen Parks and Rec.
I have.
Rob Lowe's character I thought was fantastic.
Yeah.
The way he would speak. So when he was when he was dating Rashida Jones's character, he would see her and go, "Tell me every single detail of your day." So me and Sue say that to each other jokingly, like at the dinner table after our days. Tell me every single detail of your day. Another one, which is totally random, It's from this miniseries that was called Escape at Dannemora. I may have mentioned it before. It was like a dramatization of when those guys broke out of prison in upstate New York and there was like a manhunt. Um, so the manhunt is like in progress, and this prison guard is like driving to work and he has no idea what's happening yet. And there was helicopter, and he was like this really, really doofy guy. And there was helicopters in the sky, and he looked up and he went, "Oh, a couple of whirlybirds." So now whenever there's helicopters and we're driving around, we always say that. Oh, a couple of whirlybirds. Let's see. I'll finish off with. See, this is not maybe like a verbatim quote. It's from Seinfeld. George's dad, Frank Costanza. There's the episode where he's trying to describe Sandra Bullock. He doesn't know her name, and he refers to her as that girl from the bus, which is just an excellent joke. He's referring to her role on Speed from the 90s. And me and lots of my friends, when if Sandra Bullock was to ever come up, that is the only way that's acceptable to refer to her. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was George Clooney and the girl from the bus.
Bus. That's good. No,
So
that's fun, guys. That was fun.
yeah, thank you. Maybe a little different, but there's I really enjoyed doing it because maybe when I started, I wrote down like five, and then like every other day, I would catch myself saying something, and I'm like, oh, I'm writing that down, and then my wife would say something, and I'm like, oh, I'm writing that one down. So that was fun.
Yeah, they kept coming up, right?
They
That's,
kept
I
coming
mean,
up.
I
Because
wrote,
you
I
never,
was, I text myself,
Do you?
yeah, I text myself that like when I think of something, it's just quick. So I text
Yeah.
myself so I don't forget it because I forget everything.
I use the notepad in the phone.
I could, I just do it quick though. I know
yeah.
I should
Well,
use
and
it.
you never realize you're doing it, and because like to you, it's just something you do all the
Right, it's
time.
natural.
So it's natural. So then you have when you think about it like this, you're like, I guess I do. Because like another one quick I do is off Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Andy Samberg would be like, oh, cool, 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 cool.
Yeah.
Like I do that a lot, and like
Yeah.
it's just audible to me until something like this comes up, and you're like, oh yeah, no, it's from that show.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. We could probably do this the whole series
Yeah,
on
I
this.
mean, it's honestly, it's the sort of thing I will probably continue to keep track of. And if I come up with 10 more, then maybe we revisit it down the road.
Sounds good. Which brings us to overpriced eggs, which is stuff that we've outgrown. Bryant, I don't think you've outgrown anything.
Yeah, you would be partially correct. I don't think I have, except for this one thing. So there's this thing that a lot of people love about when the NFL season starts. It's not just the NFL season, it's not getting back to football, it's fantasy football. And fantasy football is this phenomenon. It's taking over, it does all these great things. And that was me. I dug in. I did numbers. I looked at every team. I followed these quarterbacks. I found wide receivers. I did running back trends. I followed the numbers. I watched their stats from last year, looked at them from 2 years ago to compare. And then I realized that it's not as fun as I think it is. And to steal from Brad from the last segment here, I forget a lot to change lineups, notice of trades. People are injured. Take them off your roster. Nope, gonna leave them in for 6 weeks because you don't check your roster enough. Then all of a sudden you're 0-8 and you don't care anymore, and the thrill is gone. And so I've just kind of stopped caring about fantasy football. Like I enjoy seeing people talk about it or like hearing stuff, but like I just can't do it anymore. And to see the time people put into it, the drafts, the punishments, those are great to watch people be punished for losing. But I just can't do the fantasy anymore. It's just the thrill is gone, I should say. So I did outgrow one thing, Brad.
This delights me greatly because, as I have established, I do not care for fantasy sports or gambling on sports. And I think it's a bunch of bullshit that people think they enjoy it as much as they say they do. They don't. They do not. It's stressful. You're losing most of the time.
Mm.
I know a lot of people out there like golf, and golf is okay, but I'm going to liken this to golf. You want to go golfing? All right. It's okay. I'm having an okay time. But you know what? By hole 12, I want to get the fuck out of there. And that's what happens when people play fantasy football. They're not even interested the whole time. Hard boiled.
So I'm gonna answer this with mine. For the first time in 20 years, I quit fantasy football. And I have
Oh,
outgrown fantasy football. And that is mine as well.
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
And I'm going to tell you why. I found myself last year watching a game, a high scoring game, and rooting against players, rooting against the fun of the game. This was a game. It was Buffalo against somebody, probably, right? Let's just like, for example, they won 41-40 last week in dramatic fashion against a very good Baltimore Raven team. If I had players on either of those teams, I'd be stressing out the whole time, rooting against these players. That's a fun game. That was a fun game to watch. And I shouldn't be stressing out about something I'm supposed to enjoy. So I quit fantasy football this year, and I am glad I enjoyed that game. I don't care really who won. I just love the dramatic fashion that Josh Allen won in, but it could have gone the other way too, where I would have been happy if they would have broken it up at the end too. I don't care
Yeah.
because I don't have any stake in it. I don't have a dog in the hunt. I'm out.
I
Fantasy football's done.
I love I am in love, and your example was great, right? If you like football, or if you claim to like football, you should be able to watch it and enjoy it without having some personal thing riding on it. And
Mhm.
also, sometimes it's kind of weird if you think about how you're like drafting these 20-year-old kids and however they do in real life affects you as a 40 or 50-year-old dude. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out. Out.
And again, when you're having to watch a 0-10 and 1-9 team play because you got to hope that so and so throws 3 touchdowns, like, I don't care half the time either. I don't want to bet my life on this.
Or is the backup for the Detroit Lions going to really pan out?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I honestly I enjoy watching, and yeah, it's easy to say this when your team is not doing well. I enjoy watching games that the Giants are not in way more than the games that the Giants
Well, it's
are in.
been rough for you lately, for sure.
Having
Hmm.
fandom makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
It just it really doesn't.
Yeah.
Think about the popularity of sports, specifically football. Only one team out of 32 has a successful season, but everybody loves it.
And it happened to me last
Your
year.
chances are shit. I didn't go, did I?
No, it was you
No,
now.
no, no.
You're up.
We've all ganged up on fantasy
No,
football.
it's great.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm all for it. I didn't have to outgrow it. Well, I outgrew it 20 years ago. All right, so hear me out on this one before commenting, and a little full circle action here. Something that I outgrew was video games. Growing up, I had friends, I played sports. I didn't really have a lot of toys as we discussed, but I did have video games. Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64. That was my lineage. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the adventure RPG type of games like a Zelda or Final Fantasy, games that you had to invest in. Really enjoyed it. So much so. I honestly think it helped develop my critical thinking skills and puzzle solving and things that are valuable to intelligence and brain growth. But then, you get older, college happens, and things change in your life, different interests, spending your time differently. Maybe you're not at home anymore. I didn't play. I just didn't play. I just stopped. So for most of my life, my adult life, I just didn't play video games. I totally outgrew them. Now I have a son. He's young. Getting him into video games. We had the classic NES. I made him play some of the classics, original Mario Brothers, games like that. And now we have Nintendo Switch. And let me tell you, we've played a couple of games together from start to finish. Really, really wonderful experiences. Neither one of us is like glued to playing these video games, but we played a game called Super Mario Brothers Wonder from start to finish, which is like a newfangled take on an old school Mario game. Of course, there's Mario Kart, and then also an adventure game called Luigi's Mansion, which was filled with puzzles and solving stuff. And me and him playing together from start to finish on these games was amazing. So there's value there. It's not just, staring at screen, frying your brain, not that sort of thing. Good bonding. But, I outgrew it. Now I'm back a little bit. I'm still not sitting there playing by myself, really. But it was something that meant so much to me growing up that I just flat out gave up, almost cold turkey when I was like late teen, early 20s.
So interesting, because my backup this week, it is incredible, was video games. And I was back and forth with, I almost did it because Bryant went with the fantasy football. I almost did it. And then I said, you know what, I'm just going to go with the fantasy football. Maybe I'll use the video games another time. But here we are. And when I was in college, we had the, like, I was in a fraternity house and we had 3 rooms. We had like a little, like, I would call it almost a den, but it was a bedroom that just wasn't, we made it.
Common room?
Yeah. And then, but it was just for the us two in that room. We had people in there, but then there was the bathroom in between that. And then the back was the bunk beds. And I had a gaming system in each room,
Hmm.
including the bathroom. But I've outgrown it and I'm just not interested anymore. Maybe if even with my son, like what he was interested in as he got older, he wasn't as interested when he was younger. I think I played with him when he was younger. And then when he got older, he started getting into Call of Duty and stuff like that. I never got into that kind of stuff. And also I thought it was a little weird to play that kind of stuff, Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty with him. Even though you're 15, 16, I don't know how appropriate it was. So I didn't even do it. So I'm out of it. I'm out of it. And I agree with you 100%. I see why you're getting back into it though, because you want to play with your kid. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not becoming, you know, an obsession level thing. It's just a thing to do. We try to spend time outside when the weather's appropriate and playing sports and stuff. So I'm trying to use it as like a filler when we're, stuck at home or, you know, you're done being outside for the day.
You still play a lot of games, right, Brian?
I was about to say I play video games all the time, as much as possible. That's usually my weekend nights, or when I get off work on the weekends, I will stay up late playing video games. I say this as I look over and see my PS1, PlayStation 1 through 5 over here, my Super Nintendo, my Sega Genesis, and I have all these consoles over here, and I still love to play all of them when I can.
How in
It's
the
so much fun.
world do you find time to work a full-time job,
Yeah,
play video games, listen to 807 wrestling podcasts, watch every piece of wrestling on TV? Wife, I believe you have a wife.
I
Like, how do you
do.
do it? How do you do it?
He's
Miracles.
not really doing it.
I think there's a clone.
Oh, dude, I wish.
But
Oh,
you also do a podcast.
yeah, it's true. I mean, if you guys knew how much hidden wrestling content I have that you guys don't have, oh man, that I watch, oh, it's crazy.
Just don't understand it. You have to be triple tasking when you're doing
Oh
these.
yeah, he's listening, playing,
Yeah.
Oh,
wrestling's on.
usually when I'm working, I'm listening to something. So yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I do that a lot.
So
Sometimes
do
it's
I.
music, sometimes, yeah.
but yeah, no, I play still like every weekend. I'm usually playing at least college football. So watch college football day, then come downstairs and play college football. So
Once again, guys, I put this on the outline to shorten the show. Well done of not doing that.
yeah,
Are we at the end?
No, we got my duck eggs.
Oh,
duck eggs,
You want to talk about another SNL spot? We are there. Splot? Spot.
splot.
Splot spot. So this is also a little egg whites for you. Like many artistic endeavors, Mount Rushmore went through several phases before its final concept was decided upon. Before it was a tribute to the 4 U.S. presidents, the massive sculpture was intended as a tourist destination honoring icons of the American frontier. Potential figures included Meriwether Lewis and William Clark, Lewis and Clark, Buffalo Bill, and Lakota, leader of the Red Cloud. But Gutzon Borglum, the sculptor responsible for the Mount Rushmore, had a different idea. He wanted to shine his democracy to honor George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, and Theodore Roosevelt. He also wanted the sculpture to include their full bodies. But funding ran out when Borglum died in 1941, 14 years after the project officially began. South Dakota deemed the sculptures complete with just the busts of the president. Even in this limited form, it took more than 400 workers to finish the monument, none of whom perished during the construction, which was very rare at the time. The 4 presidents were chosen to represent America's birth, Washington, expansion, Jefferson, preservation, Lincoln, and development, Roosevelt. Jefferson oversaw the Louisiana Purchase. Lincoln prevented the country from splitting in two, and Roosevelt supported the construction of the Panama Canal. At first, this was known to the Lakota people as Tunksila Sakpa Paha, meaning Six Grandfathers Mountain. The landmark was renamed for the New York lawyer Charles E. Rushmore, who visited the site in 1885 and remarked that it needed a new name. Duck eggs.
Hmm.
I thought
Full,
that was
full
really
body.
interesting. Yeah.
Have either of you been to Mount Rushmore?
No, we're not going there.
What the fuck? So when you
That's like
go
so far.
when you go to Mount Rushmore, which I
When we
have,
don't go,
they actually have the mock-up of the full body of what it would look like. Also, they have it carved out as like a miniature. So like when you go into like where the exhibit is, you can see what it was supposed to look like carved out of the rock. And it's like fascinating to see.
the problem is what else is there?
Crazy horse down the road.
So what am I doing? Is that a day trip? I can't make a day trip there. It's far.
Yeah, you can. You
No,
make it.
no, I can't.
Yeah, you can make a trip out of it because you do
This be
that.
like if I'm driving across the country. That's the only thing
You go through the national forest as well, and then you go to Deadwood and you gamble all night.
Deadwood.
Yeah.
Deadwood, like the show on HBO?
Yeah.
That's right. That is
So
real.
about 10 years ago, my parents and their friends went because my mom had always wanted to see Mount Rushmore. And they finally went and they went to Deadwood. And my dad brought me, damn, I wish I had it ready.
Well, how could you possibly have that near you right now? You did not know I was going to talk about this.
I have my dad brought me a poker chip
Yeah.
from a Deadwood. Yeah, I don't think I would go.
I mean,
Brian's all proud of it. Brian, you haven't even been to New York City.
seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, if it like
Yeah,
there's
see,
a
I have
million things
my
to do
Deadwood
there.
poker chip right here.
There's a million things to do in New York City. There's literally three things to do where we're talking about here.
That's
All
kind
right,
of true.
figuratively three things,
No,
as they would say on How I Met Your Mother.
Speaking of New York City, maybe we could very briefly acknowledge as we record, it is September 11th,
Yes, it
24 years later. I was in Manhattan today, and my son was a little curious about it. He was a little young for all that kind of thing, but he was asking about it, and you know how they project the blue lights in the city. You can actually see them from my street. So we just walked down the street so he could take a look at them. That was an interesting experience.
Sure.
But I just acknowledge importance, significance, remembrance of such a day.
24 years.
Hmm.
All right, guys. Well, it was a great show. Matt, why don't you go ahead and hit us with the socials?
Well, thanks for listening, guys. I hope you liked our quotes. And when it comes to the YouTube time, I want you to lay a couple on us that you say. Because we are Three Eggs Are Better Than One, cooking up every Monday morning at 6:30 a.m. Eastern on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere else you get your podcasts. Find us on YouTube at Three Eggs Are Better Than One, the number three, the letter R, the number one. Follow us on X, Blue Sky, Instagram, and TikTok at Three Eggs Are Better, the number three, the letter R, and our individual accounts at Yes Man Brad, at B Harumza, and I am at Purple Shirt Guy Without the Eye. Throw us some 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts, and like I said, comment on YouTube. Next week, I think we've got a Brad topic. What's it going to be?
We've heard a lot about Matt dislikes and likes over the time we have spent here. We're going to go as far as say his total dislikes, but this is going to be something I'm taking a page out of your book, Matt. I am going to bring up several words that I really dislike.
Oh, I'm so
They're
excited.
all over the board. Some of them make no sense. They're going to make no sense to you whatsoever. I'm going to explain my reason for each one, and I would like some feedback as well. So there is no homework this week.
Can we stop and then record this back to back?
No.
So that is going to be next week. I've already written them all down.
All right.
I would hope so. I mean,
so Bryant, take us home.
Thank you guys for joining us. It's been a fun week. We hope that you guys make sure to keep your pants pulled up, stop playing, maybe not enjoy the fantasy as much. And I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm in a glass case of emotion. The egg timer's been set. We'll see you guys next week.